Okay, so what's the best smartphone? We've all asked that, right? Typed it straight into Google or maybe asked an AI assistant lately.
Definitely, it's like the perennial tech question.
Exactly. And we usually just get the answer, the list. But we thought, what if we could actually see how the AI gets there? Like peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, understand the steps it takes.
So that's what we did. We took two big AI models, Chatgpt and Google Gemini, and gave them the exact same prompt, basically, give me the best smartphones and then show me your homework, the full pipeline you used to get that answer.
And it's a really fascinating look under the hood. It's not just about the phones they picked, but the logic, the process, why they picked those phones.
Yeah, seeing the differences in their approach. It's all about finding those kind of aha moments in how AI works.
Exactly. Things that can help you, use these tools better.
All right, let's dive in. ChatGPT first, what did it come back with?
Okay, so ChatGPT gave a pretty concise list, called it Best Smartphones of 2025.
Nice and direct.
Yeah. And right at the top, the Apple iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, they called them the sort of overall top picks, praised the battery, the display, camera.
The usual Apple strengths.
Right. And it mentioned things like Apple Intelligence features. That's their new AI stuff, right, for photo editing, suggestions, that kind of thing. Plus the new A18 or A19 chips. Powerful stuff.
Okay, makes sense. What about Android?
For Android, it flagged the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, said it was the best Android flagship. Mentioned the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, Galaxy AI, Samsung's own AI suite, for translation and editing.
Oh, yeah, they're pushing that hard.
Totally. And the S Pen support, of course, and that massive 200 megapixel camera sensor.
Wow. Okay, so the big two covered. Anything else stand out?
It did give a nod to a couple of others. The OnePlus 13, it highlighted its IP69 rating for durability and the super fast 100W charging.
IP69, that's serious waterproofing.
Yeah. And the Xiaomi 15 Ultra got to mention too, mainly for its premium Leica camera optics.
Leica optics, right. So a solid, if maybe predictable, list.
Pretty much. But then comes the really interesting part. The pipeline. How it got that list. ChatGPT laid out 6 steps.
6 steps. Okay, let's hear them.
Step 1. So it reads the prompt, best smartphones, and immediately activates these concepts in its internal space. Things like category, smartphones, and then attributes like best, flagship, value, AI, camera, foldable.
So it's immediately trying to figure out what kind of best I'm asking about.
Exactly. It's interpreting the core request. Then step 2, this is where it pulls candidates from its own internal knowledge base, its training data.
Ah, so like its initial gut feeling based on everything it's learned.
Kind of, yeah. It suggested the iPhone 16 series, the Galaxy S25 Ultra phones it already knows are heavily discussed and generally top tier. It called them known brands models widely discussed in tech discourse.
Okay, so it starts with the heavy hitters it already knows.
Right. Then step 3, it takes those initial ideas and applies filters based on common use cases. Things like overall performance, camera, AI capabilities, value, even foldable design.
So it's narrowing it down based on why someone might want a best phone, like best for photos or best overall.
Precisely. It's trying to match phones to potential needs. Then step 4 is crucial.
Ah, so it goes looking online.
Yes. It doesn't just rely on its internal data. It uses specific search queries like Best Smartphones 2025 or maybe Tom's Guide Awards 2025 Best Phone.
Okay.
And this is where it found or maybe confirmed phones like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the Sony Xperia 1 to 7, which it noted was good for creatives, and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 as a top foldable.
So it's actively researching to fill gaps or confirm its initial thoughts. That's pretty smart.
It really is.
Yeah.
Then step 5, it takes all these candidates, internal and external, and maps them back to those initial concepts and their key strengths.
So connecting the dots, like saying the iPhone 16 Pro fits the overall flagship concept because of its AI, battery, camera.
Exactly. It's building the justification for why each phone is on the list. And finally, step 6.
The fact-checking part.
Right. It stated that every model included was supported by 2 or more reputable sources. It mentioned Tom's Guide, Consumer Reports, Android Central as examples.
Reputable sources. That makes me wonder, does that mean it kind of leans towards the big mainstream review sites? Could it miss something cool but less reviewed?
That's a really good point. Its definition of reputable comes from its training, which likely emphasizes those well-known outlets. So yeah, it might potentially favor mainstream choices. It raises a question for you, the listener. What counts as enough verification for you? 2 sources. 3, does the source matter?
Yeah, something to think about. So wrapping up ChatGPT, it feels very systematic, like it has a checklist. Start internal, filter, search externally, map, verify. Very structured.
Very much so. A logical, step-by-step process.
Okay, so that's ChatGPT's playbook. Now let's switch gears to Google Gemini. You said its approach felt different right from the start.
Oh, absolutely. The very first thing Gemini said was, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, look, the best smartphone is really subjective. It depends on what you need, your priorities, your budget.
Wow. Okay, so it leads with a disclaimer almost, acknowledging complexity.
Exactly. It sets a totally different tone.
Oh,
And that philosophy flows right into its recommendations. Instead of just one main list, it offered categories.
categories, okay. Like what?
Well, like best for photography.
Hmm?
It highlighted the Google Pixel 9 Pro and Pro XL, for their computational photography strengths.
Google's own phone, naturally.
Well, yeah, but it also included the Sony Xperia 1.7 in that category, specifically mentioning it's great for niche users, creatives who want manual controls.
Okay, so recognizing different types of best within photography, that's nuanced.
Very. Then there was best for battery life. And here it pulled in some less common names like the ZTE Nubia Red Magic 10 Pro. Get this, a 7050 mAh battery.
Whoa, that's massive.
Right. And the Asus ROG Phone 9 Pro, which is geared towards gamers who need longevity. It also had best value mid-range with the Pixel 9a and the Nothing phone.
Nothing phone, yeah, the one with the lights. Interesting picks.
And best foldable phones, where it didn't just list the Fold, but also the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7 and the Motorola Razr Ultra for 2025. So a much broader, more categorized view.
That feels much more like a buyer's guide, trying to help you find your best fit, not just the best phone overall.
Precisely. And connecting to that, it also provided a whole section on factors to consider when choosing. This directly links back to its opening about subjectivity.
Ah, so it's giving you the tools to decide for yourself.
Exactly. It lists things like, think about the operating system, your budget, camera needs, battery performance, screen size, specific features like a stylus or water resistance.
And software updates. That's a big one.
Yeah, and it's even mentioned the 7 years of updates some Google and Samsung flagships are getting now. It's empowering you, the listener, to build your own definition of best.
Okay, I like that approach. So how did its pipeline map compare to ChatGPT's? Gemini had 5 steps, right?
5 steps, yeah. And again, the starting point is different. Step 1, it explicitly notes the prompt's subjectivity right away. It tries to figure out the user's intent, assuming you want an overview for a purchase decision or just to understand the market.
So it's thinking about the why behind the question immediately.
Yes. And it identifies what info is needed. Top rated overall, best for features, brands, specs, buying advice. It even noted the temporal relevance, making sure to focus on 2025 models since the prompt was given in July 2025.
That feels much more interpretive upfront than ChatGPT's approach.
I'd agree. Then, step 2. Here it focuses on planning its research. It lists specific Google search queries it would formulate, like top-rated smartphones 2024-2025 or best camera phones 2025. It's mapping out its search strategy.
Okay, planning the attack.
Then step 3. This is where it processes the search results. It looks for recurring themes models, noting, like ChatGPT did, that the S25 Ultra, iPhone 16 Pro Max, Pixel 9 Pro kept popping up.
Spotting the consensus.
Right. It extracts the key attributes for each strengths, who they're for, and then crucially does the categorization into those lists like best for photography, best battery.
Ah, so that's where the categorization happens, after gathering the raw info.
Exactly. It synthesizes the info into those helpful buckets. Step 4, pretty similar to ChatGPT, honestly. It talks about cross-referencing claims against multiple sources. PCMag, CNET, Tom's Guide were mentioned again.
Makes sense. Standard practice.
Yeah, plus a recency check for dates, checking source credibility, making sure specs are consistent across sources, and specifically verifying AI feature claims.
Good, solid checks.
And finally, step 5. This is all about structuring the answer. Using that initial disclaimer, clear headings for the categories, bullet points, highlighting strengths, adding the practical buying advice, and then doing a final review for clarity and flow.
It sounds like a lot more emphasis on structuring the final output for the user, tying back to that initial subjectivity point.
That's a great way to put it. The whole pipeline seems geared towards delivering a nuanced, user-centric response.
Okay, so we've dissected both. ChatGPT with its structured, internal-first approach, and Gemini with its subjective, category-driven, user-focused method. What are the big takeaways when you put them side by side?
What's fascinating, isn't it? Both fundamentally follow that you have to understand the question, find potential answers, and check if they're right. But the emphasis is so different.
How so?
ChatGPT really leans on that internal knowledge base. It's like, here's what I'm pretty sure is right. Now let me quickly check and expand.
Starting from a position of confidence?
Kind of, yeah. Whereas Gemini puts way more weight on that initial. It spends more time up front thinking about the question itself, its subjectivity, the user's likely intent, and then it designs its search and categorization strategy around that.
So one's like a confident expert quickly checking their facts. The other is more like a thoughtful consultant trying to understand the client's needs before recommending anything.
That's a really good analogy. And Gemini's approach, breaking things into categories, giving you those factors to consider, it does feel more directly aimed at helping you, the individual user, navigate the choice.
Yeah, it feels less like here's the answer and more like here's how you can find your answer.
Which brings up a really interesting point, doesn't it? When you ask an AI for the best anything, what are you actually hoping for? Do you want that single confident answer?
Or do you secretly want the more nuanced guide that helps you figure it out yourself, like Gemini offered?
Exactly. Understanding these different pipelines helps us realize that the way we ask questions and the AI we ask can really shape the kind of answer we get. It shows that best is still very much subjective, even for an AI. It depends on how it's programmed to think about best.
So quite a journey into the AI mind there. We've gone from a simple question, best smartphones, right through how two major AIs actually process that request, gather info, check facts, and build an answer. It happens in seconds, but it's incredibly complex.
Absolutely. Hopefully, the next time you ask an AI for a recommendation or anything really, you'll have a bit more insight into that multi-step dance happening behind the screen. It's not magic. It's a process.
And that process, as we saw, shapes the result. So for you, our listener, here's a final thought to chew on. We've seen AI basically lay out its entire thought process step by step. If AI can be this transparent about how it arrives at an answer.
Yeah, what does that mean for the future? For transparency, for accountability in AI?
And maybe more personally, how might that change the way you trust and interact with these digital tools that are becoming such a big part of our daily lives? Something to think about.